Jamie Clark sent us this story. Thank you very much. Traffic laws. Here's a really dumb one that won't do anything. Spoiler alert. We're just summarize it right there. Florida is proposing, lawmakers there are proposing requiring 2 license plates. That's not 2 different ones, which you might see on an Altima or a Challenger, or like a James Bond car, but one on the front and one on the rear. Ohio people became free from this type of tyranny. What was it? Is it 8-10 years ago now? I feel like it was a long time ago.
Actually.
But we fought that for a long time, and it took lawmakers numerous attempts to go back to just a rear license plate in Ohio. Now, interestingly enough, the registration fees did not go down. They just now charge you extra if you want a second plate.
It was in like 2019, I think.
Okay.
That we got rid of it.
All right, 6 years. I never ran a front plate anyway, so it really didn't affect me other than, maybe getting a ticket in North Olmsted because they like to enforce it. Anyway, Tallahassee, Florida, and this is courtesy of WTSP 10 out of Tampa Bay. Under a new proposal filed in the Florida Senate, drivers would be legally required to have license plate on the front and rear sides of vehicles. Boy, didn't proofread that one.
I mean, I think they are technically a side of the vehicle, but that's not what we would consider the side.
Right.
Yikes.
Let's see. So, like any law that we've discussed before that we don't particularly agree with, this one is somewhat in response to a person who was killed after a hit and run. Now, again, these are tragic circumstances. We don't want to make light of that. However, as we've discussed before, we don't think that one tragic situation should necessarily be justification for a law that affects everybody. Because a lot of times it's just because, people have pull. They bug their congressman enough, whatever. We've covered that before. But State Senator Joe Gruters submitted the idea. He's a Republican. I thought Republicans were about less government, but whatever. In an amendment to the bill's first version, which would require that auto repair shops keep records of repairs to cars damaged in crashes. That's an interesting side topic there. The legislation is called the Lily Globuk Act, named after the 13-year-old girl who died after a 2022 hit and run. They say that implementing these rules would give law enforcement more resources at their disposal when trying to identify drivers who are involved in crashes and flee the scene. Adding a license plate to the front and back of cars, I think they're already on the back of cars, unless it's an Altima, would make it easier to spot a suspected vehicle. And he says, quote, as people are speeding away from these scenes, there's a lot of cameras out there, and those cameras can't always see the back of the plate. I'll point them in the other direction.
Or what if it's at night? You can't see the front plate anyway. If anyway, you'd see the back plate.
Right, because the headlights are blinding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel slightly, this isn't the topic, it feels slightly disingenuous or something. Like when we read about these and I look at this article and the first thing up is a picture of this poor young girl who was killed and everything. Like, obviously, like you said, these are horrible scenarios, but like feels a little icky sometimes that this is potentially being used to win people over for the sake of legislation that I personally don't believe will have the effect that they're purporting it will. Maybe that's why I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. I think laws should be made from like a preponderance of evidence, right? I think they should be statistically driven, not emotionally driven. There's definitely valid responses to these types of tragedies, but how about, I don't know. I mean, obviously you can't punish the person if you can't catch them, but maybe more strict punishments for people who do these hit and runs, right?
For
like,
sure.
Are they getting charged with murder or are they getting like 5 years, the same as somebody who has a DUI and didn't even crash or something like that, right? Yeah.
Well, I saw, oh goodness, I'll need to, so there was, I was doing some research for this and I found a thread on Grassroots Motorsports from 2019 and somebody indicated that, in their town or whatever, they'll get a $300 ticket if they like pass a bus when it has its stoplights up when they're trying to pick up a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
And why is it only $300? Like, if you do that, could really significantly potentially kill somebody who's not paying attention. They're a young child.
Sure.
Like, okay, $300 is like a slap on the wrist. So
that's a pretty hefty ticket, though. I mean, I will say, in the grand scheme of things, that's a pretty heavy ticket.
If it's an accident, I guess, but if it doesn't, I don't know if it teaches a lesson.
Yeah, and I think this is an entirely separate topic, which we will cover, is the slap on the wrist for doing something that's really maybe dangerous versus the jail time that you get if you do the exact same thing and somebody's hurt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a big can of worms that will open later. But, okay, so back to the original topic. Are having a front license plate going to prevent this type of thing? And do they have data? Tyler, you did a bunch of digging. Could you find any data that would say, man, front plates, reduced accidents, put more criminals in jail? Anything?
Doug, this was very frustrating. I tried and didn't find anything. I wanted studies. I wanted some sort of really analytical look at this, and I only found the same talking points from both sides of the issue. It was, this is better for surveillance and camera images, or it's better for eyewitness accounts. It gives you probable cause to pull somebody over if it's a 2-state law, but you're missing a front plate.
I don't like the whole probable cause. It's like tint. It's like saying tint is probable cause.
Yes.
I have tint because I don't like to overwork my AC systems. And I'm such a big celebrity, I don't want people to see me driving down the road.
Future so bright, you need some tint. But a lot of these are related to revenue too, which is a little icky, again, when it comes to why you'd be for it. I have to be honest, as a car guy, I don't like the front plates because I don't like how they look. Do I think it makes a significant difference in being able to catch somebody? I don't really believe that, but that's a feeling. I wanted data, because if data could tell me I'm wrong, I could change my mind.
I don't think Ohio had the data either, because their only reason, the push to keep the front plate law, every time the lawmakers tried to do away with it, was this one state trooper or cop, I don't remember which it was, but it was a law enforcement officer who was killed by a guy who was driving at him. And they're like, well, but if the guy had a front plate, then the cop could have radioed it in and they would have caught him. Maybe that is true, but that one extreme instance is not a reason to make every law-abiding citizen put a front plate on their car, right? And this is interesting too, because as we're preparing for this discussion, there's a post by the Geauga County Sheriff's Office. On Friday, April 4th, the driver fled from deputies on SR 608 near Walking Stick in Hamden. We are currently searching for the owner of this vehicle and any information that could help us identify this driver. If you recognize this vehicle or have any information, please contact us. And there was 2 somewhat distorted photos from a traffic camera, I guess, of the front and side. I'm sorry, the front side and the side
Okay,
of this BMW.
Side. Nice.
Which people were like, how are we supposed to identify that? But I'm looking at going, any car person could. That's like a 2008 to 12 BMW 335i Coupe. It's got tinted windows. It has a blacked out grill, kidney grills instead of the silver ones. They look to be stock wheels, but they're like the 19s. I'm like, any car
probably
guy knows
low
exactly
on
who this
blinker
is.
fluid. Yeah.
But guess what it did not have?
Oh, it didn't have a front plate.
Didn't have a front plate. So somebody snarkily said, if only Ohio had a 2-plate law for vehicles. And so, I, of course, had to respond to this. And I was like, yeah, if only they had a tint law, which Ohio does. And this vehicle definitely has dark tinted windows. And they said, well, it doesn't matter. Even if you didn't have tint, you couldn't identify the driver. I'm like, you totally missed my point.
Yeah.
The point is, criminals that run from the cops are not particularly inclined to also be obeying tint laws and front plate
Yeah.
laws, let alone plate laws at all, right? So here's like all the reasons, in my opinion, why front plate laws won't do jack squat. One, the car is likely stolen. That's why they're running. In fact, in prepping for this podcast, I watched yet another police chase where a stolen BMW rammed multiple vehicles while fleeing, and when they finally wrecked out, 4 to 5 apparent juveniles ditched the car and all ran in different directions. We need front plate law for that one? No, it's a bunch of John Does, and it was a stolen car. So the only thing you'd find is the registered owner of the car, not the criminal. Okay, car is likely stolen. Flock cameras can easily get rear plates. They're positioned all over most cities now, and they face both directions, so you can get rear plates. If a criminal is doing criminal things, they likely have fictitious tags already, so the plates won't even come back to the car. Other scenarios, dealer tags only go on the rear, temp tags only go on the rear, people from out of state, people from cars from out of state. I mean, there's a bajillion reasons why cars legitimately wouldn't have front plates anyway. If you don't catch them, like let's say you get the plate, but you don't actually catch them, you don't know who is driving at the time. So you can only find the registered owner, and then what?
Yeah.
Right?
Then you would have to prove that they were doing something, potentially. I don't know how all that works. I'm not an expert. It's not.
Your car ran from the cops.
Yeah, it's like, cool. Who,
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Prove it. Yeah. And the big overarching point, which I've somewhat already made, but to bring it back full circle, is if criminals are going to break one law, why in the world would they bother adhering to the letter of another law? Cops will tell you all the time, they pull people over for, like you said, the probable cause, the tint, the busted taillight, et cetera, and then they find drug trafficking. So it goes hand in hand that criminals tend to break more than one law when they're breaking the law.
And in those scenarios, yes, it is, a positive thing that the officer was able to pull that person over, but that also on the other side of that coin, it's not a perfect system, gives reasons for officers to potentially like end up harassing, on purpose or not, people who are just living their lives.
It makes criminals out of law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
That's been said about a whole lot of other laws. I think that applies here. I don't think anyone's life is going to be saved by this law. And it seems like that's the impetus for this law, right?
Well, and that's what upset me about trying to find data, because I was open to having my mind change. I was open to putting a plate on the front of my 911 and in the tow hook just because like it's actually better. But I didn't find anything. I didn't find anything in either direction. So like obviously this isn't based on statistics.
No, lawmakers need to do things to please their constituents. And so this is a act where they're saying, yeah, we're doing something for you. Speaking of license plates,
Ew.
I wonder if all of these photos on our license plate game are from the rear of the vehicle. Would you look at that?
I think all mine are too.
Yes, so it is the plate to sample game where we read off a vanity plate and the other person has to guess what car it's on. See how good we are at identifying the stereotype of the owner. I've got 5. You've got 5.
I've got 5.
All right, I'll start. I feel like a few of these should be layups for you. Okay, this one. Doors up.
Model what? Y is the SUV? Tesla Model Y?
Is it a DeLorean? I don't think I did. I didn't do a Tesla this week. Didn't do an EV for you. I'm sorry.
So is it a DeLorean, an SLS?
Yes.
There it is.
Mercedes SLS.
Whoo!
I'm amazed that you went all going on that. It could have been a Lambo.
I feel like it could have been, but when I heard that, I just immediately thought like up to me means like actually going away from you, not like forward. Like I think a Lambo door is forward and
scissor
up.
Doors.
Yeah.
So Lambo, you get scissor on your license plate.
Yeah, which... So the first plate for you is license plate LCN PL8.
That's got to be on an Altima because they're trying to break the law and not get called in.
No, but I don't think you're terribly far off. It is a commuter car.
Okay, what is it?
It is a Mazda CX-5.
That's what's in our garage right now. It's a service loaner. I can't stand it. Okay, here's one for you. Porsche, Porchia, Porsche.
944.
No.
996.
No.
Panamera.
No.
What is it?
Chevrolet Equinox.
I got the way you said it at first got me on the wrong track because I thought it was one of the Porsche plates when people put like POOR, which is a 944 or 996 or the
I
cheaper.
Intentionally
Porsches.
misled you.
So rude. Next for you, you be nice.
A Subaru?
No, but I like where your head's at.
Hyundai?
No, other direction. It's a BMW 528, like a new one.
Oh, they're asking other people to be nice, even though they're probably not stereotypically.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, you be nice to me because even if I don't turn
signal. Gonna be up your bum on the highway, flashing my lights at you.
All right, here's one for you. OTO.
OTO. What? What could that possibly? But a Mercedes-Benz SUV.
No.
Okay.
Ferrari 612 Scaglietti 121.
Oh.
That was a nerd one for you.
Oh, what is the 121?
I think it's just a one of one spec, like it's a special order specification package, whatever. Appearance package.
I see.
It might have the HETE package as well.
Whew. Next
it's
up
not
for you.
one of one. That would be a Corvette. Because there's a lot more than 121 612. It's the 1-to-1 edition.
Huge car is the next one for you.
Tesla Model Y?
No.
That is giant.
No.
Lincoln Continental.
Other way.
Other way?
Other way.
Mazda Miata.
Ooh, close. A slammed Mini Cooper.
Ooh. All right.
Like somebody's having a good time. A little bit of the Stance Nash wheels.
Here's one for you that you won't get.
I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed.
HEIC thing is screwing me up. I can't. All right. We're going to come back to that one. GT4-ish.
Is this like a Cayman S?
Nope.
GT4-ish. Is it something similar to a Ferrari GTC? Oh, that's a GTC4. Is it like I don't know. Does it have like a GT4 race car variant? Like, is it a Hyundai or something?
Mazda Miata with a big wing.
But Miatas don't race in GT. Sorry, I'm not gonna nerd out too much on that. But I don't think there's a Miata Cup.
It's like the same sense of humor as the huge car.
Huge car. I do like it. Next for you, Poor B4 or not. I don't know why I did this. It's 4.
Mercedes. Got to be a Mercedes.
Very close, but it's not.
BMW.
Also, even closer, I think.
Is it like a base model Porsche SUV?
No, it's a Range Rover.
Oh, okay. I'll give them that.
Kind of makes sense.
That's a good flex. But is it like a 10-year-old Range Rover, a little rusty?
No, it's not that bad. It's like a relatively new one.
All right. They will be poor again, though, if they have a Range Rover.
Yes. As soon as the maintenance bills come a-knocking.
Okay. SCFLAW, Scofflaw.
Scofflaw. Oh, this is one of you cannonballer folk, isn't it? One of you. It's not Gonzo Prius's Prius. I don't know any other Cannonball cars. It's not on the Fraud Taurus or the silver passenger car. I don't. Is it on the van? The one that somebody built? Didn't Jared Pink build the van?
It's not. It's on a Subaru Outback.
Okay. Is it all related to Cannonball?
Yes, he's the producer of the Cannonballer documentary.
Oh,
but I knew that plate would throw you off because you'd never expect that on a Subaru Outback.
Wait, the one that I rode in? I think he took me back to the house when we were in Kentucky. I was in that car. Son of a
yes.
Last one for you, Doug. PLANTRS.
It is the Mr. Peanut Mobile.
Dang it! Yes, it is that 100% Nutmobile.
The Nutmobile. I was getting confused in my head between the nut and the wiener. The Mobile, the Wiener Mobile. Yeah.
Whoo! Nuts for Sticks is a brand celebrating the manual transmission in all its forms. So forget those flappy paddles because we like shifting ourselves. Check out our fun and funny stick-themed shirts at nutsforsticks.com and save 10% on your order using the discount code SwitchCast. That's nutsforsticks.com and use code SwitchCast.
Thank you for joining us for SwitchCast with Doug Tabbutt and Tyler Sanders, produced by Ethan Huffnagel. SwitchCast is an automotive entertainment and opinion show, and nothing we say should be taken very seriously. We do not give tax, investment, legal, emotional, or professional advice, and the only licenses we hold are driver's licenses. The opinions expressed on this show are exclusively held by the people pontificating at that moment and do not reflect the values of our producers or sponsors. Our theme music is provided by Emily and Ivory. You can stream their full album on Spotify or SoundCloud. If you like this show, you can stream it in its entirety on your favorite audio podcast platform. Check out switchcast.live for more info.